Hello, it's Omi here. I'm just going to show you the basics of dream editing with skins. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my dream folder, which is where I store all my patches. If you don't know anything about dreams or patches, you should go back to my beginner lessons and look at those, because I'm assuming you're at least an intermediate level dreamer before you get to this. So here I have my dream. Okay, that's where I keep all my dream files and my dream patches. Alright, so I'm going to go to C, Program Files, Furcadia, Skins, Golden, and I'm just going to copy marbled buttons and skin.ini. These are the files that make up the skin, and they need to be in your dream folder. Alright, so we have buttons, marbled, and skin in our dream folder. So now we're loading the golden skin into our dream. And we do this because we need a skin to work off of before we start making our own skin. At least this is what I think is the easiest way to do it. So we can open skin.ini, my dream skin. So this is the skin we use in our dream. I'm going to just go over the skin editor real quick. It's pretty simple. File, save, open, edit that has undo and redo features. Then you can change like the patch, and that's about the extent of it. Okay? We click on any button, shape, or object inside the Furcadia skin editor skin. So if we want to click the help button, we can change the attributes to the help button. So if we don't want the help button to be there, we go to button placing. We can make it hidden. We can make it so you can only see it on certain tabs, but I'm going to leave it as hidden because no one likes this stupid button anyway. I don't think it's used very much, so I just delete it normally. So all the buttons are pretty much the same. They have these, you can choose where they're seen, what tab they're on, if they're visible or not. The button Z position, that's like the layer it's on. So right now they're pretty much all set to back, but if we want to bring one to the front, so for example, if we want the Phoenix button to be in the middle or the front, then when we drag it over all the other buttons, it will always be on top. But since now it's in the middle, if we took this button and change the Z position to the front, it's going to be in front of whatever's on the middle or the back layer. So it's going to be in front of all these things, but the Phoenix is still going to be in front of all these items, yet behind the dragon and the magic button. And as you can see, to move buttons, all you have to do is click and drag them. It's very simple. And then we can change the tooltip. So for example, for the dream editor button, we can delete that and make it say hello. And then whenever we put our cursor over the dream editor button, it's just going to say hello instead of open dream editor. So we can save that. We've already modified the dream. That's pretty much the basics of editing the skin already. We can change the colors. Some things do have different attributes for things that aren't buttons. For example, the text area, we can change the color of the different texts. We can pick various sorted arrays of color. So if we want it to look like that, all we have to do is click our different colors and pick and choose. Very simple. So we save that. That's the basics of the actual skin editor. That's pretty much all it is. But now we have to talk about editing the buttons in the background, because that's where the main juice of it is. I guess that's where you really get into the customization. To do this, to edit the buttons or any other visual aspect of the skin aside from the background, we open buttons.fox within our skin, which buttons.fox should be in what your dream folder's in. So if we want to change, for example, the dream editor button, we just get rid of it, make a new one, a new button shape. So if we want it to be blue, we make it blue. Then we could write dream editor. So yes, there's my amazing button that doesn't even fit. Alright, delete that one. And as you can see, all buttons have two different shapes. The first one is slightly lighter than the second one. That's because the first one is the one that's not being clicked on, and the second one needs to be slightly darker because when they click on it, it's supposed to get darker because it's a button. So when we click on it, it gets slightly darker. Alright, we save that. We go back to our skin editor. We go to patch, reload patch. And as you can see now, my dream button has changed to what I made it. And that's how you edit every single button. It's very simple. You just find a shape in the buttons.fox file and you just edit it. Now, what about the things that aren't really buttons? Some of the buttons.fox file also contains things such as the tabs. So if we want to change what the tabs look like, We could do that here. We could just change each individual tab. For example, if we want to make them all red, we could do that here. Oh yes, it's so amazing looking. This is going to be the best skin editor, or best skin ever. I think I'm going to get an award for it. Patch, reload patch. Alright, now as you can see, I have a nice black box behind every skin, or behind every tab. Other things you can modify in here, things like the up and down buttons for your scroll bar, or even these, as you can see around the game screen at each corner, we have these kind of fancy looking corner edge things. We can modify those in here too. They're right here. So that's how you modify all the visual elements of the skin. Now what about the background? How do we modify the background? To do this, we have to modify marbled.pcx. We do this with the PCX editor. So we load that up, and it works pretty much just like the Fox editor. It's just slightly bigger. So if we want a dark red background, we just color it dark red. File, save. We save it as marbled.pcx. We replace it. Patch, reload patch, and there's my amazing dark red background. And that's basically all you have to do to edit a skin. So we save everything, close it up. We go to some random map somewhere, we upload our dream. Okay, now I'm in my dream, and as you can see, it has the ugly red background. All the tabs have ugly red behind them, and if we mouse over dream, it says hello in the tooltip. That's pretty much all there is to editing skins. I'm going to go over some more in-depth tutorials later, but that's the basics of it. So I hope this was somewhat resourceful. Hope you learned something. Thanks for visiting the Furcadian Resource Center, and goodbye.